Good to see Saif Ali Khan fit and fine emerging from the Lilavati hospital. He's on his way home right now. Remember, India Today will not be one of those channels that will chase his vehicle and harass the family. There are many channels, as you know, that do that kind of disgusting journalism. We don't practice that. We will be respecting the family's privacy. It is after 5 days of treatment, including surgery, that Saif Ali Khan is now out of hospital and is headed back home with his family. He's dressed in jeans and a white shirt. There appear to be bandages on his neck. But it's good to see that despite apparently suffering injuries very close to his spine, including a 2.5-inch blade that was found lodged in his back, he's on his feet. Look, at least appearance-wise, he looks okay. And he's walking completely by himself. There were fears that he would be bedridden for a while at least, but from these pictures at least, it doesn't look like someone who's been subjected to a horrifying stabbing attack, and that perhaps is testament to Saif Ali Khan's fitness and resilience to get over this very, very traumatic incident. Anita Brito is with us live from outside Saif Ali Khan's residence in Bandra in Mumbai. Anita, Saif finally out from Lilavati Hospital after 5 days since that traumatic attack, late in the night. Tell us what happens next. Saif will be heading back to a second residence, not the place where the crime was committed. Is that correct?
No. So right now he's at Sadhguru Sharan, where the crime was committed. Like we know that they have two apartments in the same building. It's a duplex apartment, and hence, so maybe he's come here for some days, and he could move to Fortune Heights later after a couple of days. As we can see, he's doing quite well. We were not expecting. We were expecting him to be either wheeled out on a wheelchair. But that's a very, very good news that he walked and he entered his apartment. Yes, we could see a bandage on his hand. So we know that he is, maybe he's still in pain. But however, seeing him walking and entering his building brought a bit of smile on all his fans who have been waiting to see a glimpse of the actor since the attack on 16th of January. Having said that, maybe Saif might come out to give us a glimpse. Maybe to talk to us. There were talks that he will come out to give a bite as such for all of us. As you can see, he's been waving. You can see the visuals. He waved at the paps. You can also see an injury near his ears, on his neck. So yes, he looks in good health, and that's a good news for all.
दादा काम है 2 मिनट बस हो गया सर केयरफुल सर स्पीडी रिकवरी
Waves to the media as he makes his way to his vehicle that has taken him back to his residence. It's a duplex apartment, so it is, as Anita Brito just told us, he's going to spend a few days there before possibly shifting to another residence that the couple own. Saif Ali Khan, dark glasses, white shirt, blue jeans, what looks like a band-aid just behind and below his ear, and also some kind of bandaging on his upper back or neck. That may be where one of the stab wounds actually is. But like Anita was telling us, these pictures make it clear that Saif Ali Khan is not just out of danger, but is fit and fine. He seems to be very much, back on his feet. No signs of any permanent damage, thankfully. A huge relief for his family and his huge legion of fans across India and the world, that their idol is okay. He's doing fine. He's doing a thumbs up, waving at the paparazzi in the media, who've been tracking the family very, very closely for the last 5 days since that horrifying stabbing incident inside Saif Ali Khan. And Kareena Kapoor Khan's residence in Bandra in Mumbai. Omkar Wable is with us live from Mumbai. Omkar, Saif is back home right now. Tell us what happens next.
Look, just 5 minutes ago, Saif Ali Khan went upstairs to take a rest, and next 3 to 4 days he'll be here, and later on he'll shift to his next residence just 10 meters away from this Sadhguru Sharan. Look, this is the same resident. Where is he now? It's the same resident where the incident took place, and the accused stabbed Saif Ali Khan at 15 midnight. Before that, there was some fixing work and CCTV installation were going, and after that, Saif Ali Khan entered his own house. But for some days, just because investigation is on the way and investigation is completing, so police have advised him to vacate the place where actually incident took place, because even when they were doing early morning, when they were doing recreation, and the police officers took fingerprints of the accused from the same area. So that is why the room will be vacated, but the rest of the house he can easily use for his day-to-day life. And after 3 to 4 days, he'll shift to his another residence.
What happens to the crime scene reconstruction, Omkar? What is going to happen? Will Saif be participating in that? We can see very clear images of Saif. He seems to be okay. There's some injury on his left hand and wrist, behind his ear, on his back as well. But he seems to be absolutely fine. Would he be in a position to make a statement now to the police and be part of the investigation?
Look, this statement of Saif Ali Khan is not recorded yet, and which is going to be the most important part of this whole investigation, because accused has already claimed his side, what exactly happened, and also recreation already did in the morning. But Saif Ali Khan version is most important in the whole case, so that's how the investigation will go ahead. So maybe tonight or tomorrow, police will again reach here. They'll speak to Saif Ali Khan and will record his statement. So they'll get to know approx timings of the incident and exactly what happened. So both sides will continue, and that's how the investigation will go further. But the most important thing is, as in the visuals we can see, he's looking fit and fine. Even yesterday when I spoke to his doctor, he was like, Saif Ali Khan is feeling better now, way better than before. So he'll get discharged by today, and that's how it happened.
Images coming in, Saif in his vehicle, reaching home as well, waving, waving to journalists who are trying to get a picture of him as he makes his way to his residence. I'll try and get a confirmation on who that is who is driving him in just a moment. But in this black Porsche, Saif Ali Khan is finally being driven home after 5 days inside the Lilavati hospital. Huge media scrum outside the Lilavati hospital as Saif is driven out from the hospital and makes his way back to Bandra. He is in the same house where the attack took place, but may shift to another house in a couple of days once preparations are made. Bandages behind Saif's ear and neck. There's a cast of some kind with bandages on his left hand and wrist. One of the stab wounds could have been there on his hand as well. But it bears repeating that it's good news for his family that he is completely well. He looks to have made a complete recovery, despite reports that he had suffered fairly grievous and serious injuries, including, a stab wound very deep and quite close to his spine. So we're going to keep a track of that, and it's good to hear that he is back in good health. Anita Brito is still with us from outside Saif's residence. Anita, the family is with Saif right now.
Yes, Kareena is, of course, she's here with him. And also Karishma Kapoor, we saw a couple of hours back, she was already here. She was taking care of the, arrangements. As of now, what we know, she was making some arrangements for Saif to come back home to this residence where, the attack took place on the 16th. However, what we know is whether the kids are here or no. We are not sure about that yet, but so far only Kareena, Karishma and their managers are present here at Sadhguru apartment.
Okay, so they are there at the Satguru apartments, Anita, just to be clear, and will be moving to the new apartment after a few days. That's what you're saying, right? Just trying to get clarity on that.
Yes, absolutely. It's not a new apartment. It's where Saif and Kareena got married. Fortune Heights is just opposite Sadhguru apartment. This is the
Okay.
Sadhguru apartment, and just right across the road is Fortune Heights, where there are high chances that after a couple of days, Saif will move out there. Again, because there are a lot of investigations still pending, maybe he's here to give a statement and then he will move. There's no clarity on that yet, but these are the talks so far going on.
Who all are there in the house right now? Are the police also there, in the house right now where the crime took place, and that's where Saif and Kareena are also there right now?
Yes, there are some few cops. As we had seen, the security was beefed up completely here before Saif was released from the hospital. But what we have learned are there are a couple of police officers who are also at the residence right now. Maybe they have just come to see whether he's doing well or no, or maybe they have come to take the statement of Saif, because it's not yet recorded as per our knowledge. So these are all the things that the talks are going on, but we are not sure yet. However, to answer your question, yes, the cops are still at the residence with Saif and the family members.
Is there going to be a press conference by the police anytime? Now that Saif is back home, now that the alleged attacker has been arrested, produced in court, and is in police custody right now. Usually, Anita, we would expect, some kind of a police press conference to answer many of the unanswered questions at this time. Is that going to happen sometime, or are they waiting until Saif joins the investigation and there is more clarity?
No, we are not sure whether the police officers were ready to give a statement or planning to hold a press conference. But yes, Saif was ready to give a bite as soon as he entered. But looking at the mayhem here, looking at the crowd and the people jumping over the walls, he decided not to. But India Today has exclusively learned that Ronit Roy, who has a security agency of his, he's planning to give his security to Saif. This is what we have learned. Ronit was also present here with Saif, and they both were planning to give, a statement post the discharge. But however, because of the entire chaos here, they refrained from it. Maybe after a couple of hours or so, they might come down and give a statement or a bite to the media people.
Okay, so hopefully Saif and Kareena will come down and speak to the press. We do know that it's been a traumatic time for the family. In fact, Kareena had even, put up an Instagram story yesterday, which she quickly deleted, where she was asking sections of the media, Pink Villa and others, to leave her alone and to stop the speculation and stories over their children. But Saif Ali Khan has a spring in his step. It's very good to see that he is in perfectly good health. Obviously a tribute to the doctors who are taking care of him, that despite grievous stab wounds, in 5 days, Saif Ali Khan, far from being in a wheelchair or bedridden, appears to be in the pink of health, and that's a good thing because there's a lot riding on him, quite apart from his family's, most anxious time at this time. Sharmila Tagore, his mother, had visited him at the Lilavati hospital as well yesterday. Kareena has been by his side throughout. Members of Bollywood, the extended family, they've been all out in full force to wish Saif Ali Khan well. It's been a troubling time. The investigation is the other side of this entire story, and Omkar Wable continues to be with me. He's outside Saif's residence. Remember, there are two residences, one where the crime took place and one is an older residence to which, as Anita just told us, Saif might shift with his family, in view of the continuing investigation and the fact that the attack took place in that new house. That might actually happen in the next couple of days, but there's no clarity on that. These are private decisions that will not be shared obviously with the press, so we will not be reporting any specifics on that. But Omkar, where is the investigation currently? Shariful Islam Shehzad, the Bangladeshi national who was arrested a few days ago, he is in police custody right now. He is said to have confessed to this attack. What else is the police? Okay, we will get Omkar in just a moment. Unfortunately, we've lost that line with him, but I will try and get in our other crime reporters from Mumbai onto this show as well, because we're going to be rolling on these images. We're expecting Saif to emerge from his residence and maybe speak to the press as well. Anita, you're saying that there are indications that that Saif might come down and speak?
Yes, absolutely. That was the plan in the beginning. But looking at the crowd, looking at how the people were climbing, just this is the society people. I had actually climbed on this wall just for a glimpse of Saif Ali Khan. So he decided against giving a bite, and so he's gone back to his apartment right now. He will be back hopefully after a couple of hours when he sees everything settled down. The media personals also are settled down. Only then maybe he might come down along with Karina and maybe some other friends of his and give us a small bite or whatever he would like to talk. Maybe he wants to talk to us. We have been constantly tracking his everyday update or health update and everything. So I think he might want to come down and speak to us a bit about the incident, and as well as give us an update on how he's feeling right now.
Okay, because I certainly hope he does that, because it'll be the first time that Saif has had a chance to speak on this entire case. We've not had a statement from him, far from a soundbite. Obviously, the focus and the priority will be on the investigation and speaking to the police first, but maybe a word to the media for his fans, would be an expectation from those who've tracked Saif Ali Khan for years together. Saif is, he is a friendly guy. He does speak to the press. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does, Anita, come down and speak to some of you a little later. I want to get an update on the investigation, however, because that's going to be crucial. Omkar is back with me on the show. Omkar, what are the police saying now? What is their next step? They've made arrests already. Shariful Islam, the Bangladeshi national, is said to be the man who attacked Saif Ali Khan at his residence. Where does the investigation stand at this time?
Look, investigation will disclose different facets of the whole probe, but the main thing is now Mumbai police are going to record statement of Saif Ali Khan, which was not recorded before because his doctor told him to take a rest, and obviously there were some medical limitations also, and he was going through the recovery. So after that, maybe tonight or tomorrow, Bandra police will come to his residence, where I'm exactly standing right now. This is Sadhguru Saran Society, where the accused attacked Saif Ali Khan on the 16th midnight. He's at the same residence. Actually, people are saying he'll shift to another residence which is just nearby. But Saif Ali Khan came to his residence where he was attacked that night. But investigation will go further only when police will record his statement, because both sides are important. What accused is claiming right now, it could be just a theory. Though police officers are investigating, but they were looking for the buffering space which needed, and that's how they received 5 days of police custody of the specific accused. But the thing is, when they'll produce him again in the court, police officers will have to show progress of this whole case, and the progress lies only when the statement will be recorded. Accused statement has already recorded, but Saif Ali Khan's statement will be recorded soon. And the interesting is, both statements will be compared, and after that the interrogation will go ahead, because cross-questioning to Saif Ali Khan is also pending, and cross-questioning and other questions like how the accused entered in the house, what Saif Ali Khan was exactly doing at that time, and what was actual incident happened in both of them, what kind of encounter was that. So every question will be asked to even Saif, and the same procedure is going with the accused.
Stay with me, Omkar. We've got some more information coming in that adds more layers to this shocking story of what happened in this Saif attack case. Details are now emerging about the sequence of events that took place on the 16th of January inside Saif Ali Khan's residence. At the time of the attack, at the time that Saif Ali Khan was being stabbed, there were 4 male domestic helps present in the home. After hearing the screams of 3 female housekeepers, so 7 servants in all inside the house, they froze in fear One of the men even hid inside the house while the others did not attempt to intervene. So the accused Shariful Islam Shehzad managed to lock himself in a room, but the female domestic helps acted swiftly, locking him in from the outside. The police apparently took the attacker to Saif's residence for a recreation of the crime scene. During the probe, multiple fingerprints of the attacker were collected from the washroom where he was hiding. So remember, even though there have been questions over a discrepancy in the physical appearance of the man caught on CCTV and the man who was seen to be arrested, his fingerprints and other evidence have apparently been found from one of the washrooms inside the house, thereby, as per the police, nailing his presence during the attack. We've got more breaking news coming in. Accused attacker Shariful Islam Shehzad's cap, which he was wearing during the attack, was found inside Saif and Karina's son Jay's room. From the cap, some hair has been found. The hair has now been sent for DNA analysis to the forensic science laboratory. So Shariful Islam Shehzad, the attacker, we'll put his picture on your screen next to Saif in just a moment. There he is on the bottom of your screen. His cap has apparently been found during the investigation inside Saif Ali Khan and Karina's son Jay's room, their younger son's room. And hair from the cap has now been sent for DNA analysis to the forensic science laboratory. This is from the crime scene itself. The police say that this is a stabbing-proof clincher, fingerprints in the bathroom and the shaft duct. Now a cap, which is basically physical evidence that has been found, has also been retrieved and is now part of the investigation. Investigation is taking big steps forward now, with the cap of the attacker being found in Jahangir Ali Khan's room. Jahangir is the youngest son of Karina and Saif. Hair on the cap has been sent for a forensic examination and for DNA testing as well. Saif Ali Khan has reached his residence now. A recreation of the crime scene has already taken place before Saif was discharged, where Shariful Islam, whose picture I'm going to put on your screen in just a moment. Viewer, please bear with me. Which is the man who has been arrested for this particular attack and is now in police custody. He has apparently left his cap in one of the rooms during that altercation. Omkar Wable is still with us. Omkar, a cap that has been found. Fingerprints have already been, found in the washroom and the AC ducts, and now a cap, says the police, has been found in the children's room.
Exactly, because the accused during the interrogation and when the cross verification was going, accused has already confessed that some details in this investigation. But when police were here with him to cross verify everything and to recheck what exactly happened, that time they found a cap in Jahangir's room. So the sequence was, he climbed till second floor, then he used AC duct to went upstairs, and again after using AC duct he entered on the 10th floor in Jahangir's room, and that's how everything started, and later on he committed the crime. So this is important and initial things in the whole investigation: how he entered in the premises, how he entered in the Saif Ali Khan's house and the Jahangir room where he was sleeping at the same time, and that's how the investigation will go ahead now.
Okay, the investigation is going to continue. The Mumbai police says it has clinching evidence against Shariful Islam. His cap has apparently been found. They've even taken a confession from him. Divyesh Singh is also with us from our crime team in Mumbai. Divyesh, cap, fingerprints, other evidence has already been collected by the police. It seems, that Shariful Islam Shehzad, is the attacker according to the Mumbai police. They are projecting that the evidence is there. A cap has also been found now.
Well, yes, Shiv, a cap was found in Jay's room. That is the spot where the attack took place, where this crime happened. And this cap also has hair of Shariful Islam, and that has now been sent for DNA. So remember, the cap was discovered on 16th itself, on 16th January, when police officers went to the spot. It was found there itself. Meanwhile, the attacker was nabbed only on 18th. So there is a gap of 2 days. Initially, the cap was there. It has been sent for DNA analysis. The hair has been sent for DNA analysis. And 2 days later, the attacker was nabbed at Thane, hiding in mangroves. Now, the DNA analysis of the hair and hair follicles and the DNA, it will be matched with Shariful Islam, and that clearly ascertains that he is the same person who committed the crime. Other than that, the clothes that he was wearing that night, which has blood stains of Saif Ali Khan, those also have been found, and those have been sent to FSL again for analysis, and it will be matched with Saif Ali Khan's blood. So that is another clinching evidence. Then there is a piece of knife which is recovered from Jay's room. There is a piece of knife which was removed from Saif Ali Khan after surgery. It was stuck in his back near the spinal cord, and it was removed in surgery. But the third missing piece of the knife, or the handle of the knife, is still missing. And just a while ago, 1 hour back, the accused Shariful Islam was taken out of the Bandra police station, and from sources we learned that he has been taken to some spot where he allegedly dumped that third piece of the knife. So this is very crucial evidence which prosecution will use against Shariful Islam in the case of robbery, dacoity, and causing grievous hurt.
All right, Divyesh, thanks very much for that.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Trump returns to the White House. Trump goes on an order spree. Declares border and energy emergency. 47th US President's declaration.
A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Gulf of Mexico, now Gulf of America. World on Trump tenterhooks.
Never has there been such a viral presidential inauguration. The internet is completely broken over what happened last night. And in case you missed any of it, I've got you covered. We're going to be telling you about all the highlights from the inauguration. But first, it's official. Remember that Donald Trump is back in the White House. And he's gotten straight down to business in signature Trump style. Soon after his inauguration, the 47th President of the United States went on an executive order blitzkrieg from declaring an emergency at the southern border to renaming the Gulf of Mexico and exiting the World Health Organization and the Paris Climate Agreement. Here's a look at what just the first few hours of Trump 2.0 looked like.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
Donald Trump is back in the House, beginning his second presidency with a slew of hard-hitting executive orders with disruptive and far-reaching impact. From ending birthright citizenship to exiting World Health Organization and Paris Climate Accord.
So we paid $500 million to World Health when I was here, and I terminated it. China with 1.4 billion people. We have 350 to pay. Nobody knows what we have because so many people came in illegally, but let's say we have 325. They had 1.4 billion. They were paying 39 million, we were paying 500 million.
In a big illegal immigration crackdown, Trump imposed a national emergency at the US-Mexico border to keep immigrants away.
I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
Trump pardoned about 1,500 of his supporters who have been charged in the January 6th US Capitol attack. He used his powers to dismantle the largest probe and prosecution in Justice Department history. Trump also warned of imposing 100% import and tariffs on the BRICS countries, which includes India, if they took any step towards cutting the use of the dollar in global trade.
They're a BRICS nation, Spain. You know what a BRICS nation is? Well, you'll figure it out. But, and if the BRICS nations want to do that, that's okay, but we're going to put at least a 100% tariff on the business they do with the United States. You know what the BRICS is, right?
He even vowed to send American astronauts to Mars, which got a big thumbs up from Musk.
We will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
The tech czar later said that the US is going to plant an American flag on the red planet.
And we're going to take Doge to Mars. I mean, can you imagine how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time?
Trump's back-to-back hard-hitting executive orders were followed by a glitzy inaugural ball with the POTUS and FLOTUS shaking a leg. And using a military sword to cut a presidential theme cake. Trump 2.0 began with firm America First approach, promising to make the world unlike anything ever before. With Gaurav Sawant in Washington, D.C., Bureau Report, India Today.
And just a few moments of that inauguration have basically given social media and the internet probably enough content for a lifetime, from GIFs to memes to jokes of all kinds. Leave it to Trump, Melania, J.D. Vance, Usha and the others to completely break the internet. So in case you've been living under a rock and missed Melania's hat and the kiss that wasn't, to an alleged Nazi salute, to so much more, I've got you covered. Take a look at this.
The internet is complete in pieces and couldn't have asked for a better inauguration for an incoming US president. A veritable ocean of viral moments has swamped social media, enthralling billions around the world. In the unlikely event that you missed it, we've got you covered. It was a sight to behold as President Trump broke into a jig, holding a ceremonial sword at the inaugural ball. Clad in a tuxedo, he made his moves to the YMCA tune, forcing Melania to smile and join her husband. Expect this to be a GIF for decades to come. Then there was Elon Musk, making waves yet again. During the inaugural rally, cameras caught what appeared to be a Nazi salute. Musk later claimed it was a misunderstood gesture meant to mimic an exaggerated wave. But the internet was less forgiving. Memes and debates exploded across every platform, but then it's Musk. He lives for this stuff. Another buzzworthy moment that's already become an instant meme came courtesy of Melania Trump. As the president leaned in for a kiss following his oath in the Capitol, her wide-brimmed Eric Javits hat proved to be an unintentional barrier. The near miss sparked laughter and a trending hashtag, #hatblocked. Meanwhile, Usha Vance turned heads, not just with her adoring smile at husband JD, but for their daughter Mirabelle, rocking fingers in band-aids. The toddler healing America with some disruptive finger fashion. The other two Vance kids clearly wanted a piece of the viral action with these antics, playing tabla on their parents' heads. While one slouched across the front of the desk, the candid moment brought smiles to an otherwise buttoned-up evening. And who could forget Bernie Sanders? The Vermont senator's signature grumpy-seated demeanor at the inauguration went viral yet again, solidifying his status as the internet's favorite curmudgeon. Fans dubbed it Grumpgate 2.0. In another viral twist, Lauren Sanchez's daring outfit turned heads for all the wrong reasons. Her peekaboo bra moment caught the attention of none other than Mark Zuckerberg, whose sidelong glance was captured and dissected by millions online. Jokes about this frame being a metaphor for Facebook's privacy habits have exploded across the internet. Speaking of Zuckerberg, the pantheon of tech titans made a rare public appearance together, sitting side by side. Elon Musk, Sundar Pichai, Jeff Bezos and Zuckerberg looked more like they were at a tech summit than a political event. Conspicuous by their absence were Microsoft's biggies Bill Gates and Satya Nadella. And finally, Carrie Underwood turned a technical glitch into a showstopper. When the Capitol sound system failed, she belted out a song in a cappella. The wrinkle in an otherwise largely smooth day. For Purple Mountain. From sword dances to sound system snafus, this inauguration will be remembered as a blend of tradition, controversy and humanity. And whether you loved it or loathed it, it's safe to say we won't see another one quite like it anytime soon. Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, Trump in his speech spoke about his vision for America over the next 4 years, his second presidency, remember. In an interesting side note, External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, who was representing the country, was given front row seating during the ceremony. And this, as you know, is no coincidence. These are very, very deliberately decided things. Dr. Jaishankar was seen alongside the Ecuadorian President, Daniel Noboa. Even the Japanese Foreign Minister, Takeshi Iwaya, was seated 2 rows behind. This, according to experts, signifies the strength of the India-US relationship and how the US views India as a rising global power. Well, Donald Trump is back in the White House, and you better believe it, a fresh push for stricter immigration policies was brand on day one, from securing borders to limiting visas and revisiting birthright citizenship. The administration is making immigration reform a top priority. But what does this mean for India? What does India gain from Trump 2.0? Take a look at this.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, the Honorable Donald John Trump.
Donald Trump is back in the White House, and with him, a renewed focus on immigration policy. From tighter borders to a crackdown on visas and birthright citizenship, his administration is making it clear that immigration reform is a top priority.
First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. all illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
But what does it mean for one of the fastest growing immigrant groups in the US, Indians? Many Indians, especially those in the tech and healthcare sectors, rely on H-1B visas to work in the US. The Trump administration has already signaled that it plans to reduce the number of visas issued, prioritizing those with higher salaries and specialized skills. This could impact thousands of Indian workers as well as the US economy, which depends heavily on their expertise. Trump is also revisiting the contentious issue of birthright citizenship. The administration aims to prevent children born to non-citizen parents from automatically gaining US citizenship. This could affect many Indian families who come to the US on work or student visas and have children born on American soil. Further restrictions could make it more difficult to skilled Indian workers to stay in the country. As the administration moves forward with its immigration agenda, one thing is clear: the debate over America's immigration could reshape the future for millions. The question remains, will this new approach strengthen or strain the relationship between the US and one of its most vital immigrant communities? Bureau Report, India Today.
And remember, the Trump shockwave is being felt all across the world, from economics to geopolitics to stock markets to banks everywhere to financial institutions. Everyone is on tenterhooks for Trump 2.0. India Today's Rahul Kanwal is at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, where he spoke to the IMF's first deputy managing director, Geeta Gopinath. What does she think of Trump 2.0 and what to expect? Take a look.
To talk about the impact that American President Donald Trump's economic policies and his new trade tariffs could have on India and the rest of the world, we're joined at the India Today Business Today studios at the World Economic Forum by one of the world's leading economists, the first Deputy Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, Dr. Geeta Gopinath. Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to have you. I want to start by asking you about what you're making of American President Donald Trump's determination to impose new trade tariffs. From the IMF's lens and from your own personal point of view, how do you see that pan out in actuality, belligerence versus reality?
Rahul, always a pleasure to join you. President Trump said he would hit the ground running, and he has done that, and he's announced a lot of measures. He's been more concrete on immigration and on energy, on tariffs, on trade policy more generally. He has pointed to intent, but we have yet to see what exactly he will do. The details matter, and the reason I'm saying that is because if you look at the tariffs that were done in 2018-19, the details didn't matter in terms of what products you put your tariffs on. That's going to determine how much of an inflationary effect it will have. How countries retaliate, that was absolutely critical for what the consequences were going to be. But, in general, what we have seen based on historical evidence is that if we end up in a place where there are lots of tit-for-tat tariffs that happen, then that's a net negative for the world as a whole.
So how much of an impact do you think this could have on global growth? It will, of course, determine, as you say, it will be determined by what tariffs he imposes, yes, what countermeasures the other countries employ. But how do you see this impact global growth? Because the latest IMF forecast seems to suggest global growth slowing down on its own even before these tariffs have come into place.
So in addition to knowing what the details are on the tariffs, there are a lot of other policies that are being announced by the US government. So for example, which they plan to do, which is to make the tax cuts permanent, to have more financial deregulation. There is a lot of positive sentiment. Foreign direct investment into the US is very strong at this point. So all of that can have an offsetting effect. So in fact, our near-term assessment is that there are more upside risks to the US economy. Now, what that usually means is that if there's more growth in the US economy, it does have spillovers to the rest of the world, and that can be positive too. While many of the other policies on the trade front and so on will be more of a downside risk for the rest of the world. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not just about trade and tariff policy, but there's a lot that's happening on taxes, a lot that's happening on immigration, on energy, and so on, So we have to look at the sum total to be able to say what will happen to global growth.
President Trump has called India tariff king and threatened tariffs against India as well. How do you see that impact the India-America bilateral trade and India's growth and India's desire to build its own economy at this time?
This is going to be an environment where, the U.S. is going to have bilateral negotiations with all their trading partners to address what they feel are unfair trade practices, that the fact that their products get imposed higher tariffs than what the U.S. imposes on products coming out of other countries. And so, there is a valid point of whether this is a level playing field or not, and therefore I think countries will have to negotiate this. As you know, and I've said this before to you too, our view at the IMF is that India could afford to cut back on some of its tariffs just for its own sake, because this is an important opportunity for India to plug itself into global supply chains. Everybody is looking to diversify, and I hear from almost everyone that India is a very attractive destination. But to be able to go in, you will need somewhat lower tariffs in India too. So that will help India directly. Again, but like I said, every country is going to be negotiating this.
And since it is the United States and an inauguration in Trump style, it wasn't just the political landscape that got attention. Fashion also took center stage, and I dare say in some ways even more center stage than everything else. Melania Trump exuded glamour in a white satin gown and black geometric detailing on the front, but not everyone's fashion choices were actually met with praise. We've got you covered as well on the big fashion moments that turned heads.
A hat that covered half her face to a full face reveal. First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, was a study in contrast at her husband's inauguration day. If she created a buffer zone for a kiss with Trump during his swearing-in ceremony, she cozied up for a dance at the inauguration ball. Dressed in a strapless off-white silk crepe dress with 2 bands of black silk, she borrowed a diamond brooch that was created by Harry Winston in 1955 and wore it as a choker. For the dress, Melania relied on her stylist, French-born Hervé Pierre, who was also an American citizen. Pierre also created the ethereal gown that she wore in 2017 to attend the inaugural balls with her husband. It's her hat, however, that's having a moment of its own. The unmissable navy and white hat by Eric Javits has inspired memes and attained cult virality. From being compared to Hamburglar to American gangster Al Capone and Gestapo. The hat even earned praise from her husband and the President of the United States.
Then we went out to the helicopter, though, just prior to this and said goodbye. And it's a custom, and the wind is blowing like crazy. And with the hat that she's wearing, she almost blew away. We almost lost off her. She was being elevated off the ground. She almost blew away. No. So we all appreciate it because you've been a great First Lady. A beautiful and a great First Lady. And they love our First Lady.
If Flotus was setting fashion trends, Slotus Usha Vance wasn't far behind. She chose a blue strapless gown as she arrived with Trump's second-in-command to the Commander-in-Chief ball, drawing comparisons with Frozen's Elsa. The other stunner of the night was Ivanka Trump, who wore a white strapless gown by Givenchy. The ensemble is an exact replica of Audrey Hepburn's iconic floral gown from her movie Sabrina and is considered one of cinema's most unforgettable costumes. From formal to glamorous, the fashion forecast for Trump 2.0 looks very, very positive. Bureau Report, India Today.